This is FCTV, fan-controlled television. Programs created and produced for the fans, by the fans of fan-controlled sports and entertainment. As always, power to the fans. And now, it's time for the show.
Don't cause a ruckus. We talking that talk, just spitting them facts. We setting them traps and cracking them bags. Yeah. We got all the news, we know all the stories. Yeah. We start from the bottom, rise up to the glory. Yeah. We say what your local reporters can't say. We break down the X's and O's on the play. Every place. AJ, King, Con, and Jose. Ruckus. We call it right on the first take and they love us. Yeah, we the best when it comes to sports debate. Find the podcast and let it play. If we get you in your feelings, that's okay. AJ and Jose send you on your way like, bruh, don't cause a ruckus.
We just call it how we see it, big bro. And that we will always.
What's up, Internet? Welcome to Don't Cause a Ruckus. I am your host, Jose Ruckus. Joining me, as always, my good friend and arch enemy, AJ Khahs. AJ, how you doing, man? It's been a couple weeks. AJ, I can't hear you.
There it is. Better?
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's on me. I'm not feeling great, honestly. I've been better. Sports world, sports gods did not smile kindly on my teams, as they rarely, if ever, do. So.
Yeah, man, that's the hard life of a sports fan, man. For a lot of us, the ones who don't root for the big franchises, feels like more often than not we're, getting kicked.
Yep. Pretty much.
All right, everybody. If you didn't know, Don't Cause a Ruckus is a sports show that doesn't just stick to sports. We cover everything under the pop culture sun. You can catch it live over on twitch.tv/fan-controlled-sports every Wednesday, 6 o'clock p.m. Just like, who do we got in the chat here? Ruthless Cutie. Always love to see Ruthless out here. Join us live in chat, man, anytime, 6 p.m. Wednesdays. If you can't be here live, you can check the show out over on YouTube, youtube.com/fan-controlled-sports, or on the podcast services. Just look up the Fan-Controlled Sports podcast feed. But we got a big show today.
Don't forget the podcasts too.
Yeah,
we
man,
got podcasts, man.
Yeah, gotta be on the podcast. We got a real big show today, man, because we just got done. The World Cup semifinals just wrapped up today. I don't know if you watched it. I got to check it out for a little bit. France versus Morocco. Man, I actually thought it was a really, really entertaining game, even though France, on the scoreboard, it really looks like France dominated. They won 2-0, but I actually thought the game was really competitive and really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Morocco's been that team, that Cinderella team this year, and it's been fun to watch. Honestly, I really enjoyed it as much as I did not enjoy watching them beat Portugal. It was nice to see it to somebody who no one expected. They came at it with a different strategy that all the other teams didn't. A lot of the other teams came very attack heavy, attack focus, and the Moroccan team, Portugal was not prepared for just defensive squad that was
they
there.
Were so fast on those counterattacks, man, and just so well defensive. They kind of messed Portugal up.
Yeah, they did. All right, but I'm done talking about it. We'll continue on, but we have something that we got to talk about. We're giving away.
We do before we get into the show.
Yeah, we're giving away MLB The Show 22. And the way we're doing this, I didn't really get to discuss with you, Jose. So we can do it all. We can discuss this live on the show. But
okay.
I was thinking, for the fan that comes up with the best caption and goes and posts it on the latest FCF Instagram post, I don't know which one it is right now. I'm gonna look it up. I'm literally doing this live, you guys. You can see it. This is how we do things on Don't Cause a Ruckus. We do it live because you know what? Why not?
Well, I had an idea. I thought I had a pretty good idea.
All right, what's your idea?
I was thinking, what do the fans want to hear us debate today? Whoever has the best debate topic.
That's a good one.
Us to show down. You come up with a really good debate topic. Sports, non-sports, whatever you guys want to hear us talk about.
Well, see, this is the beauty of running our show, is that we can do whatever. How about
we want?
Best, because I actually like it. It's win or lose, he boozes, and it's Marshawn and It's Marshawn and Johnny Manziel talking. So I feel like best caption on the Instagram post for FCF right now, and best topic for us to debate. Whichever one wows us, we will choose to give away MLB The Show, guys. So that's not too shabby. That's a full video game. What's the market value? Like $60? That's a lot of money for
I'll
comedy.
tell you what, I played MLB The Show 22. Awesome game.
Oh, yeah?
Game.
Good
Really,
game?
really fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the show, man. I think it's so dope. But yeah, thanks to our friends over at PlayStation, man, for hooking us up with some video game codes to give away.
How
Really
cool is
appreciate
that?
It's so
Like-
dope, man.
We can say our friends at PlayStation. Hey, thanks, guys.
Our friends at PlayStation, that
Our
does have a
friends
good
at-
ring to it.
It
doesn't
does have a nice ring to it.
All right. Well, so let's
Now-
get into
now
our
we can
first
go
topic,
back.
man. Let's get into our first topic because the World Finals are locked up. Argentina versus the reigning champions, France. Let's just hop right into predictions, man. Who do you think comes out on top of this one, Argentina or France?
Okay, so biases aside, now that Portugal's out, it's hard. Messi is he's having an amazing campaign. Besides the first loss, where they look to fall apart, they've come back. They're looking good, especially that last game that they played against Croatia. Excuse me, that's nothing to laugh at. So you got to take them into consideration. But France, to me, the difference is France is while Argentina has one superstar, France is a team built on superstars. While they have Mbappe, which is like their all-star, you can't laugh at Benzema as the striker over there. He's been in Real Madrid for years. He has that experience. He's the experienced veteran star. And then oh man, his name is on the tip of my tongue. There's another guy in the midfield that does really well. I can't put him right there, but what I'm saying is,
this has been the problem with the France team coming into the World Cup. Why a lot of people didn't think they were going to make it far, which is actually they've had a lot of injuries to their big name players. Like Benzema, I believe Benzema has the option to be able to play, but he has not played at the World Cup yet because he's injured.
But if he does come
they
in,
have Pogba's out. N'Golo Kante's out, but that really hasn't stopped them. Like the depth of the roster,
that's exactly the
really
point.
shown out in this World Cup.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really is making a case. Mbappe is sort of like, I think he's really defined himself as the best player in the world today. Like not like of the generations or anything like that, but right now. I mean, he's leading this tournament in goals. He's playing incredibly well. He's I mean, I don't know if you saw it today, but like there was a point in the game where like 5 Moroccan defenders just swarmed on Mbappe.
Yeah.
And he just like navigated his way out, kicked the ball out, and they scored a goal. He's playing so incredibly well. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about one of the best players of all time versus the best player in the world right now. Like this is a tough matchup. I agree with you for the most part. I think France is the better roster overall.
Yep.
They're way deeper. But France hasn't been incredibly well at playing defense in this tournament. This is their first clean sheet today that they've had. They've conceded goals in every other game besides this one in the semifinals. And the Argentina team has been able to put up goals. I think this is I think this has the potential to be the rare World Cup final that really is like
a high scoring
shootout.
one. Yeah. I feel the same way. I think it's going to be a big one.
We end the half and it's going to be 1-1 at the end of the half.
I think it's going to be 2-1. I genuinely think Argentina is going to come out hot 2-1 Argentina for the first half. And then I think France is going to come back, score 2 up, or even it out until the last extra time, the added time, not even extra time, added time. And then there's going to be some miracle thing that Mbappe does because he's that kind of player. And it's going to be 3-2 France. That's my
3-2 France.
3-2 France.
I think it's going to be 2-2 and France wins on penalties.
I would not want to go to penalties.
Neither would I.
I just wouldn't want to do it.
It's I actually think the criticism of Messi for a lot of his career has been that he's not actually that great at penalties. What if this really goes down to it? It goes to penalties. And Messi misses a penalty to win a World Cup.
then the question then becomes, well, is Ronaldo better because he can make penalties?
I mean, maybe
Like,
it does.
That's another thing that like I feel like a lot of people haven't paid attention to. Well, yes, it's great that he's gotten to this point. I feel like this isn't new for Messi. He's gotten close or to this point before in his career, if I'm not wrong. And the difference though now
He's been to multiple finals at the World Cup, I believe.
yeah. The difference is now he has the win for his national team under his belt. Well, it's not the World Cup, but he's got the Copa America. It feels like up until like the last 2 to 3 years, he's had this wall where he can't win for Argentina. And he's broken through that wall. So let's see if he can break through it on the biggest stage in the world.
I mean, I guess let's just get into the next topic because that's exactly what it's about. Is what does this World Cup mean for Messi's legacy as a whole? Like we said, he's made it. Argentina with Messi has made it deep into the World Cup before, but this is the first World Cup where Messi has been the Messi that you saw playing at the club level. This incredibly talented, dominant player scoring goals. He really hasn't been that kind of a player in a World Cup before. World Cup, he's often, not played. This is the first World Cup that he scored a goal in the knockout rounds of the tournament.
Yeah.
So this is, I think this means a lot for his legacy in terms of just how he's played at this World Cup. I think this World Cup will, regardless of who wins, if France takes it or not, I think this will be remembered as Messi's World Cup, just from starting it off with that loss at the beginning, the way the team galvanized around Messi and the way that he's played. Like, I think this is going to be remembered as Messi's World Cup.
While I agree with you, this is going to be a very Messi-centered World Cup. I think it's his to make or break the storyline behind this World Cup. Because for him, if he doesn't win this is the ultimate shame for him, in my opinion. Because he has gotten there so many times and hasn't done it. Not only that, if it does come down to penalties, like you say, it's going to be a bigger criticism against his knock in comparison to Ronaldo. Now, as much as I would love for him to not win it, I think him winning it is like it seems inevitable. Genuinely, I feel like Messi's gonna win it because it has the ultimate storyline for him, his whole career. It just makes sense for it to end on this point. I wish it was against Portugal. I think that would have been better. It would have been a better battle of titans. But at the same time, like, if he loses this is his last World Cup, he said. Yep. This is going to be in comparison to the other great Maradona, who brought, I think, several World Cups back to. Was it one? It was just one. It was just the one.
He won the under-20 World Cup and a couple other big.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. The under-21. Yeah. So to compare him to Maradona, who has won the World Cup for his country, and Messi hasn't, it's just, like I said, I think this is the make or break. They're going to criticize him. They were criticizing him going into this World Cup ahead of time, saying that this is, if he doesn't do well, it's because he shouldn't be on the team. He's too old. I like I said, I think it's going to be a brilliant match. It's going to be great. I've been listening to too many British announcers throughout this time, hearing them say, brilliant move. It's going to be a brilliant match. But I genuinely think it's going to be a shootout. I think Messi has to put on the performance of his lifetime. If he's still got it in him, I think his team needs to back him up heavily, more so than they ever have before. This French team is something that they haven't seen. It's an offensive powerhouse. These both teams are. Yeah. And it's going to be a great game. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super happy for this. I really love the way that this final worked out because I really like both of these teams. And both, especially just Mbappe and Messi. I love both those guys. We've talked a lot about what this means for Messi's legacy if he loses. If he wins,
that's huge.
Does it end the conversation? Messi
it does.
Or Ronaldo. It ends it, right?
It ends it. And this is coming from a Ronaldo fanboy. I love Ronaldo. I love Cristiano. I think he's great. I still think he's the GOAT. When you put CR7 hashtag on Twitter, a GOAT comes up. Just saying. So to me, that debate has ended years ago, purely just because of like the international goals and all that. But I think this is the tipping point. To me, is he better than Ronaldo? If he loses, he's not. Ronaldo's better, hands down. If he wins it, he is. And that's coming from a Ronaldo fanboy. Like, I hate to say it, it puts it away, but it does. Like, I am open to admit when I'm wrong in certain situations. And if he wins this, I guess I'm wrong.
Okay. We'll mark that one down. We'll be coming back to this one because this is gonna mean a lot.
But I'm not wrong. He's gonna lose. He's gonna choke again. Go Friends.
I mean, this is a no-lose situation for me, right? Because one, on this show before the World Cup started, I picked France to win it all. So either I get to be right and France wins it all, or Messi gets to be the GOAT and you have to admit that you were wrong on that. Jose Ruckus wins no matter what happens.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm. This is one of the rare occasions when I'm down to root for France. I'm down to root for the same team as you, as long as it's not Messi. I think there's a bigger issue here where I just don't want Messi to win, just because I want people to know that Ronaldo's better, and I hold that dear in my heart.
Ooh, I want to shout this out comment from the chat because topic idea, expansion of the World Cup, good or bad idea. I like that topic. I think that's a fun one to debate. Maybe I'll earmark that one down. That might be a winning topic there.
All right. Before we get into the next one, we got to intro a guest that was supposed to come on last week. Couldn't make it. But I'd like to introduce our next guest for the next couple topics. Slick Nick Williams, guys.
Ooh. Slickolas Nicholas Williams. What's up, my man?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Great, man.
It's a weekly occurrence for us. How's everything going on in the Slick Nicholas household this winter time? How's everything up with you? Give us an update, man. What's going on? How's OTO? What's the future looking like? You go into XFL, you go into USFL, IFL, you thinking FCF season 3. What are your thought process, man? Because we got to know. This is the place that you got to drop the knowledge.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you asked that. My mom's been everywhere, but like here, you know what I mean? Like all at the same time. Like I'm just kind of really just honed in on like, man, be where your feet are. You know what I'm saying? I get caught up way too caught up in like, man, what's next? And then like I always get that tap on the shoulder, like, bro, like, you know, like calm down. Like, man, let's be where we at right now. And so like I genuinely been like trying not to like, you know, I'm not blowing nobody's phone up. I'm not like, you know, I'm just like, let's really, because even when I got in the league, I was like, dang, I miss just like being at the crib and not like, you know, in a selfish way, but just like, wow, I was really available for family or, you know, whatever. Yeah, I know that comes with it, but it's just like, we never grateful, you know, as a human being, you're really never satisfied truly. So it's like, you know, when I'm in the season, like, dang, I miss off season recovery. I miss, you know, eating. And when I'm here, I'm like, dang, I miss just, you know what I'm saying, crushing somebody did, go and get the turnover change. So it's like, I think it's interesting though, but yeah.
No,
right now, I can't say what's next though.
I totally understand, man. Like, as a musician who quit touring, like, I miss touring. Every time I go to a concert, I'm like, man, I wish I was up there. And then, like, when I'm on tour, I remember I hated touring. I wanted to be home.
Real. No,
so it's like,
real.
I get what you're saying. It's that weird, like, you got to keep that mentality of like, you got to stay in the moment. So I get that. I appreciate that. But all right, let's see. Jim, can you switch me and Nick? Get me on the bottom. Perfect. All right, let's bring the next topic up. You can cut me off, Jim, because it's Thursday night football. And we got a topic to talk about. You can just flash it up. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I like being cut off. It's perfect. Keep me like this.
Thursday night football, we got NFC West rivalry, Seahawks versus 49ers. This rivalry hasn't been as much of a rivalry as it was, say, back around like 2013, 2014. But these teams, they still don't like each other. Slick, let's go to you first, man. Who's going to win this one, 49ers or Seahawks?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of want to see. I want to see San Francisco win now.
Okay.
I'm not a personal fan of either one of those, but I would like to see San Francisco win that one though.
San Francisco, I think it's the obvious pick to.
Yep.
They have the best defense in the NFL right now. I don't think it's really that close. Seattle's been struggling a lot lately. Offensive line starting to regress. Their defense is very, very bad. Not stopping the run very well, which is tough when the other team has Christian McCaffrey. So for me, I think I think the 49ers get this one pretty easily.
Yeah, but what about as far as like, can I switch this just for a second? Like, do you think Russell Wilson was the problem in Seattle?
I love this because he's a Seahawks fan. This is fun. This is fun to put him in the hot seat for once. Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
It's not so much that he was the problem, him the player, the problem. He was incredible here. We didn't see he hasn't been playing very well this season, but while he was in Seattle, he was still playing well. I think it was more of his mindset, him not wanting to work in the offensive system that they put around him. When Russell Wilson's on the field, Russell Wilson runs the Russell Wilson offense, right? He's not getting the play call in, doing, exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's not very good at audibling out of situations and stuff. His game is scrambling, creating something out of nothing when he's down there and stuff. And as his mobility went away, that really, it's taken the thing that he is the best in the league at. That's no longer there for him. So I do think that Russell Wilson going away has allowed guys like Tyler Lockett, guys like DK Metcalf, the offensive line, having a quarterback who's able to, read a defense better and make adjustments at the line, something Russell Wilson was never really capable of. I do think that's the thing that's made Seattle look a lot better at times this season.
That was a great answer. That was a very great answer.
Thank you. AJ, let's get your pick for this game, man. I'm betting it's going to be the 49ers.
Actually, I don't think it's going to be the 49ers this week. I genuinely think that the Seahawks may actually make the upset this week. Why? Even though I've said from the get-go that the 49ers is possibly the best team in the NFL right now, like you said, great defense, and in my opinion, the best offense, because look at what they did. They put who in? Oh, yes, a quarterback named Purdy in, and he did
Purdy
real well, guys.
He's playing pretty good.
Isn't he like the last the first Mr. Insignificant to ever score a touchdown the first time he went into a game? Yeah, so I'm saying that's the 49ers offense. But I'm also saying he's hurt. Jimmy Garoppolo's hurt. Who is going to be their quarterback coming out of this? That's a good question. Not only that, Debo's hurt. They have three defensive linemen out, a center back out, or a center back that's questionable. Like, that is a ton of people who are hurt. Granted, I think they're pretty much locked into getting into the playoffs at this point. It's not a big deal for them to miss a couple games or two. Maybe it is.
That's what I was going off of. Yeah, not to cut you off, but that's what I was going off of. I don't think it'll be this like blowout that you know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of teams look at it, guys like, man, this is an easy one, or they checked that one off the list already. And then usually that's where the upset comes in. So
exactly. That's the mentality that I'm having on this.
You think we got a look ahead game here?
Yeah,
we're looking ahead.
And you got to be careful. You got to be careful with those, especially with the guys that he mentioned that are out. You got to be careful with that. You can't just draw it off. It's like, easy. You know
exactly.
I mean?
So it's like, don't do what Portugal did to Morocco. Okay, don't look at the game ahead. Focus on the game you got going on now. All right.
It'll be tough. I would love to see Seattle win.
I know you would.
It'll really come down to whether or not they're able to scheme something to stop the run game that the 49ers have, because Seattle's been terrible at stopping the run, and the 49ers are really good at it, man. Yeah. They're really good at it.
But when you clinch your spot, do you still play the same? You know what I mean? Do you keep your starters in? Do you?
That's a good point.
See what I'm saying? Like,
that's a really good point.
We know we got a spot. Should we save our guys? And we so I don't know. That's why I say I don't know.
Okay,
but I still think they'll pull it off though.
We'll see tomorrow night. AJ, how about you lead this next topic, man? Because I think you know more about this than I do.
All right. So I wanted to bring this up. This is something that I wanted to talk about. And I think Slick is a great person to have on the show to talk about it. Jim, if you would please put up that next slide when you get a chance. Yeah. So the Falcons made the decision during their bye week to change up quarterbacks because Marcus Mariota hasn't been getting it done. He seemed to have a slight injury, maybe one that he could have played through. But the Falcons thought, you know what, let's give him a bench and let's give the rookie a shot. Let's give Ritter a shot. So after this happened, after it was announced that Ritter was going to be the starting QB after their bye week, Marcus Mariota refused to show up to practice. Not only that, he hasn't shown up to Falcons camp since the announcement has been made. Now, I kind of want to get you guys' ideas on it because I think this is absolutely ridiculous for Marcus. I think he's a professional quarterback. He's been benched before. He shouldn't be surprised because the Falcons literally drafted this kid expecting him to take over. A lot of fans have been clamoring for it since the beginning. So I don't understand where Marcus is getting this idea or the gumption, if you will, to get upset about this. I think it's unprofessional. I think he needs to sit down, collect his paycheck, play the game, and do his best to show up.
Well, so I don't think this is like Marcus Mariota being like upset about being benched or anything like that. There's a couple things go into it. One, he's injured. I think there's talks about him going onto the IR and getting knee surgery pretty soon. So I think that goes into it. But I've also heard that he's got a pretty recently born kid at home. He just got benched. He's been benched before. He might just be looking at things like, you know what? It's over. Might as well go home, be with my family, take care of my kid. I don't think that's a terrible move from a quarterback.
Fair. All of that is fair. But there's a way to do that professionally. You come in, you let the people know, you let the franchise know that put that franchise in your hands. Hey, I can't show up. These are the situations. You don't just show up. You don't just no-show your job. Slick, give me your thoughts.
So I feel a lot of different, you know what I mean? Like I got about 2 or 3 different gumptions. But I would say, like, first off, I mean, are you really, really that valuable if we gave you, like, and I'm not saying we, like, that's my team. I'm a Giants fan. But, you know, being an ATL, we offer you 18. You know, I'm not saying we don't value you, but do we value you like somebody that's getting, you know, to you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just look at it differently. That's just on the scale, and you know, it's like I feel like they got higher hopes in this rookie than they do in Marcus Mariota. That's just me personally. But from Marcus, I feel like from Marcus' standpoint, I feel like it's like you said, the kid. We're not gonna act like that don't play a part. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I think that's a huge part. No, you got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? I know what we signed up. He should know what he signed up for, whatever. But I mean, I ain't in that locker room, so I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I can kind of see the point of view from just off the way that y'all described it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna go too deep into it.
Having a kid is fair. I get that. But like I said, man, like, you're a professional. All I'm gonna say is this: had he not been benched, would this have happened? No, it wouldn't have. He wouldn't have not shown up. If that was the case, that even if he was still starting quarterback and he wouldn't have shown up, that's a different story. I would have understood that. More power to him. Okay. But the fact that this came right afterwards, I get getting hurt. Sure. It just came out 4 hours ago that he may get. But still, if he doesn't show up, he's going to go on the waiver wire. It's one of those situations where, it's better to go, show up, show face. The Falcons would help him and probably pay for his rehab and injury. But it's another one of those things where it's you got to do it the right way. You can not just show up.
But
there's better things to do.
The thing is, he's a career backup now. That's what it is. He's been a backup for multiple seasons now. He's a backup in Tennessee when they benched him to start Ryan Tannehill. He was a backup at the Raiders. He was only brought to the Falcons because they knew that they were drafting a quarterback, and Matt Ryan demanded his way out. They just needed somebody to fill the spot. He knew what the situation was going into it. The team knew what the situation was going into it. Nobody has to stand around being like, we were depending on Marcus Mariota, because we all know that that's a lie.
Then bow out like a professional. That's all I'm asking. If teachers have to do it, if normal everyday citizens have to do it, damn golly, if you're getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to play football, you should have the decency to go up and be like, guys, I'm out. I'm not mad that he left. I'm not mad about it. I'm mad about the way he did it. That's my issue. All right. Before we move on to the next topic, let's talk about our giveaway again, because we got to get some more topics in here. We got to get some more people on this Instagram post. So
yeah, we're giving away a copy of MLB The Show 22 on PlayStation. If you want a chance to win it, let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what topic you want us to debate. We got one or two good ones here in the chat now, but I mean, guys, it's a free video game. Like, just all you have to do is come up with a good topic idea, or you go and give us a good caption on this Instagram post on the FCF Instagram.
Wait, what was that? Yep. Okay. I've been told, sorry, Freddie, you cannot win this one. You've won 2. So producers in the back told me you can't win. Woody, same thing. If you guys have won, you can't win another one. So new people, get in here. It's a free game.
Get in it.
Woody the Duck.
All right.
Yeah. Slick, get in there. You want MLB The Show? Go tell us something to debate.
I don't play the game anymore.
He doesn't play the games anymore. Well, he plays some games, just not video games.
Not video games.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, so last couple weeks or so, NFL Rookie of the Year talks have been heating up. There's a couple obvious choices, guys, front runners. The 2 main front runners for Rookie of the Year, defensive and offensive, are both on the New York Jets. Sauce Gardner defensively, Garrett Wilson offensively. AJ, you made a face like you might not agree with some of these picks, so let's start with you, man. Who do you think deserves the Rookie of the Year?
I really, it's hard for me. I don't really pay. It's hard for me, especially in the NFL, to like really pay attention to all the Rookie of the Years. But I don't like Sauce Gardner, great player. But I'm just not a. I don't like the Jets. Okay, seeing a bunch of green and seeing New York everywhere. That's the thing. That's the thing that makes it. So yeah, I'm gonna say this. I think Sauce deserves it genuinely, and this is me being unbiased. But Kenneth Walker on the Seahawks has had a great year too. I wouldn't be too shocked at him. And then, I can't say his name correctly, so don't get it upset. But I have 2 more. Chris Olave, I think is his name. Olave, there it is, on the Saints. He's been putting up numbers that I've been surprised at, especially on a team that's like the Saints. They don't have a great quarterback. I don't think their quarterback situation is very set in stone yet either. I think that's an issue a lot of teams are having this year. And then Isaiah, and I'm going to get this wrong again, Isaiah Pacheco, I think.
Pacheco.
Yeah, there it is.
Pacheco's good.
Yeah, my God.
Pacheco, he's killing it. And then I'm always going to shout out Drake London, but I don't think he's going to get it. Unless him and Ritter come out of the woodwork and go hand in hand, our boys Francois and Jamil will in the XFL. If they do that, then maybe he'll come out out from behind, but I feel like it's too little too late. But there's a lot of good rookies, but I don't want to say Garrett
Pacheco
Wilson
a lot. I think it's especially we've seen for years now, Kansas City's really struggled to have a running back who can really make an impact in that offense for some reason. And
he's
Pacheco's he seems to have been able to be that fix for them. So I actually like Pacheco as potentially being offensive, but I think Garrett Wilson's kind of got this rocked up. I actually defensively, I don't totally love Sauce Gardner as defensive Rookie of the Year because I think Tyreek Woolen on the Seahawks has just been better. He's got more interceptions. He's locking down dudes. It really just comes down to that Sauce Gardner plays man coverage more, and he plays in New York. And people that's the easiest way to evaluate a defensive back is if you can watch him play man coverage and if he's in a big marketplace where you actually watch his games.
Fair.
That's very fair.
Slick, you got any thoughts on the Rookie of the Year? Or you mostly agree with us?
Well, I'm gonna start off with how I thought the season at the beginning of the season. I had high hopes for Kenny Pickett. I actually had high hopes for Traylon Burks as well. And he's just big, bro. Just big. And I'm from Arkansas, so he came from Arkansas, University of Arkansas. Then got picked up at the Titans, and I just had high hopes for him, probably because I'm an Arkansas thing. But above that though, like yeah, Pacheco, I wasn't surprised at all. Like I wasn't surprised that like I forgot where I was. I think I just tuned in, turned on the game, and I saw him going bizarre. And I was like, okay, who is this dude? Did research. I was like, all right. And then my dog looked over, like, don't be surprised he messed around and be the rookie of the year. And I was like, let's not jump that far. But then now seeing him go crazy like he's doing now, it is like I'm now kind of not shocked anymore. But yeah,
This has been a really, really talented
it
rookie
really
class.
has. It really has. And I kind of feel like AJ too. Like I don't hate the Jets at all. But I have been seeing
I hate the
that
Jets.
number 1 jersey in that green and white consistently Sunday after Sunday. I kid you not. I have been seeing him Sunday after Sunday doing something different. So it's hard to hate on that, bro. It's hard to hate on that.
He's very, very good. He's really good.
It's some real talent. So yeah, but this has been a very
Wasted on the Jets.
yes, Blue Jets. I feel you, but yeah, it's still just crazy though seeing the season kind of unfold. Man,
Yeah,
my Giants not
absolutely.
in it. You know,
All right. Well, let's get out of sports topics for a little bit. We got a couple cool ones here. There's been some rumors. Jason Momoa in this new James Gunn-led DC universe might be playing Lobo. This is interesting because he's already playing Aquaman in the DC universe. AJ, can Jason Momoa play 2 characters in the same universe?
Yes, but he's not gonna. And I'll tell you why. What they're gonna do, they're gonna do the Flash movie. The Flash movie is gonna reset everything at the end of it. And at the end of it, you're gonna see either Superman or Batman. And it's gonna be the new one for the new DCU. Because it's not the EU anymore, it's just the DCU. James Gunn said. And it's going to start the whole thing. Aquaman is not going to be Jason Momoa. He's going to be some clean-cut blonde guy. I think Alan Richson probably. And then Aquaman, former and Jason Momoa is going to be angrily on a space motorcycle with a bunch of tattoos and a chain and hook riding around in space. It's the comic book, guys. Like literally anything can happen. So you know, we saw Captain America go back in time and marry his space wife who had been dead years. So if it can happen like that, man, this can happen, all right? The Flash
what do
will
you
no
think,
longer
man?
be...
Do you think people are going to get confused?
I like to get out of the DC. I mean, I'm not gonna lie like I'm not a fan. Like I like it, but I'm Marvel over DC like all day, every day. I'm sorry. No offense to the DC people in the chat, but I don't know. I don't think Marvel roll like that. I don't think we, you know what I'm saying? When you somebody. Like Iron Man, we can't afford you no more. All right, we're finna bring out Iron Heart. All right, cool, whatever. Like so, like I don't know. I don't really.
I mean, Black Panther technically changed 3 times in 2 movies. Just saying.
Not really though. But you get it. That's his sister though. You see what I'm saying? That's his sister.
Three different
now what about this?
Oh, the king, he was still Killmonger. We ain't gonna go into that. Don't
Chris
disrespect
Evans. Chris Evans, Captain America, used
Bucky
to be the Human
Barnes.
Torch.
Oh, there it
used
is.
to be the Human Torch. Same actor. Multiple Marvel characters.
Multiple Marvel characters.
Flip it around. We've had 3 different Hulks. We had Eric Bana. We had
we did.
Or what? Norton. What's his name? First name?
Edward Norton, yeah.
Edward Norton. I was gonna say
and
Graham Norton, and I'm like, that's not right.
Nope.
That old man is not. He was neuro. It would be
But
great
are
to see
y'all
him as
Marvel
Hulk.
or DC? What's y'all take on that?
So comic book wise, I love DC. I think I'm really excited to see what James Gunn is doing. The guy who did all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. If you didn't know, Nick is now in charge of all the DC movies. So that's why I'm saying there's going to be a huge change up. I'm excited to see what happens because like everybody loved Suicide Squad with Starro. People really loved that one.
Did you see that second deal with like was it Peacemaker, something like that?
Yeah, that's the one that
Yeah.
I'm talking about. He was the guy who directed that one.
Oh yeah,
So
that was dope. That one was dope. That really was.
See, if everybody's response is that's dope, I feel like then now people are gonna look at DC a different way, where like people are starting to get tired of Marvel. They're like, they're just churning crap out.
Don't say that, bro. Chill. Phase 6 would be crazy. Like we got a lot of. I'm not excited. Look, no, I'm not excited about the beginning of the year. Fantastic Four, get out of here. End of the year, I'm gonna be, by this time next year, I'm gonna be, We got some good stuff coming. I seen 2 Avengers. I just like to see that one. Like I love every Avengers one. I'm pretty excited about every time.
We're getting the C-list Avengers this time. We're getting the not so great Avengers, the not so mighty Avengers. We're getting the West Coast Avengers is what we're getting.
I like that. The West Coast Avengers.
Tell me I'm wrong though. Like
No. So what's this rumor about them going like young, like kind of like the Young Justice did in DC Universe? Now they're doing like the young. What's that about?
Yeah, so from what I understand is like with the with this Ant-Man movie and stuff, the rumor is that they're going to be putting together a team of the young Avengers. So it's going to be like Ant-Man's daughter, Hawkeye's daughter. It's going to be Ironheart, and so basically just like these younger teenager, like early 20s versions of some of the characters that we know from the Avengers.
Are we excited about that?
I liked Ironheart. I thought she was really good. I didn't really like that she was in the movie, but I thought she was awesome.
Okay.
So
we are the same. I think we think similar. Like I discussed that with like 4 different people, and I was not trying to poison nobody else's mindset, but I was just like, bro, I think Ironheart is great, like for her own whatever. And I know that was kind of like the prerequisite to her having her own series or whatever I heard about. But
we were there for the Black Panther. We wanted that movie,
right?
I
wanted to see Black Panther. I like how they coincided. She did have a little. I like that. That made sense. It was fluid. It was parallel, but still, bro, like we could have.
Me and you are on the exact same page with this, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep talking Marvel, man, because I got a Marvel topic here for you. The Across the Spider-Verse trailer dropped a couple days ago. Movie looks sick. I love the first Spider-Verse movie. We got all these different Spider-Men coming together. AJ, all the versions of Spider-Man. Who's your favorite Spider-Man?
All the versions of Spider-Man. Which one is my favorite? That's a good one. I don't know, man. Like, okay, as far as like nostalgia purposes, Tobey Maguire, but I rewatched them and they weren't great. Andrew Garfield was fun, and I loved the fact that they didn't go with MJ. They saw the whole like Gwen Stacy route, which I love. I think Gwen Stacy as a whole is great. I think it was ruined at the fact that she didn't get to be Black Cat, because like that's a great character. Love that. Would love to see that in the MCU someday. But if I'm really being honest, it's gonna be the '90s animated Spider-Man.
Okay.
Just because that was my childhood, man. Like I love that one.
That show was awesome.
It was definitely quality animation back then. Like I love the fact that they're going back and finishing the X-Men '90s show, but I kind of want them to do that with the Spider-Man one too.
I think that one wrapped up pretty. Like that one had like that big like 3-parter to end the series and stuff. That show was super dope. Slick. You have all the Spider-Mans to choose from, the comic books, the movies, the cartoon shows, all that stuff. What's your favorite version of the character?
I'm going Miles, bro. I'm sorry. I like Miles. I think that was a very intricate time when he came out. I think because it came around a little bit like the beginning of COVID, or either it happened first then COVID. So like it was just at a standstill. And I was like, man, I don't want to watch no TV. I'm not, but you kind of stuck at home. And I was like, yo, what's this? Spider-Man? And I was like, he must be, Venom or something. I was like, oh, and it was pivotal to me personally. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. But like, I don't know. it's just like the swag. But if there was no Miles, if there was no Miles, then I'm sorry, I'm going with like the first, like Peter Parker. Like I'm going with my guy. Like I just like it's like he witty, but he don't know he witty. I love that, bro. It's like he accidentally, like, he figured out a lot of stuff through like trial and error, but I just like his, like more so as the demeanor. Like the youngest one, I was like, cornball, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? It was like, I'm a cornball and I know I'm a cornball. We're okay with it. The middle one, I was just always like busy or outside when he was, when they came out with his, I think it was like 2 movies that he made or whatever, or maybe it was 1. I didn't even get into him, but as a kid, I'm watching I call him Peter Parker. That is Peter Parker, the real Peter Parker. When I was a kid watching him and then going against Green Goblin, going against
so Tobey Maguire is your number one.
Tobey Maguire for sure. Going against Dr. Otto. Bro, I'm sorry, bro. He was and when he found his swag, it was over. I'm sorry, it was over. So like, yeah, I'm big on like just like having that swag and just that knowing about yourself. But I like when it's innocent as well and you don't really know. You don't know that you this stuff per se. And then you just kind of walk into that. Yeah, so like, and that's kind of what they did with Miles, and that's kind of what they did with, whatchamacallit. But for sure, shout out to my childhood crush Zendaya. Yeah, shout out to the Zendaya. She was hard in that one. She was hard in that. That's the one thing I can't say I appreciate about the youngest one. What's his name? I didn't even catch his name.
Tom Holland.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, they all were dope though. But if you ask my fave, yeah, I'm sorry.
I loved Miles in Into the Spider-Verse. Like yeah. I remember when the trailer for that first dropped. And it was just a shot of Miles in the subway. He's got like the Alpha Industries bomber on. He's got the Chicago ones. I was so hyped about that because I love Miles from the comics and stuff. I mean, I have my original first issue of Miles when he got introduced in the comics.
Bro,
I've been on Miles since day one. I love him. Yeah,
I can pull that out.
Miles. Yeah. But there was always. Miles was like originally he was written by a white guy, and there was always a bit that was a bit inauthentic to Miles, the character, and just like seeing him in the Chicago ones, that was just like that's what the character is supposed to be. And I love the way that they got him in the movie. But I think my favorite version of Spider-Man is one of the comic books. It's called Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. It's Spider-Man in like his early 30s. When he's got his daughter and stuff, like they got him back together with Mary Jane after they broke him up in the comics and stuff. And it's just like it's its own little universe of a comic, man. But that's the Peter Parker that I love. It's just like because Peter Parker never gets to grow up. I like seeing Peter Parker as an adult, married. He's got his shit together finally. That's my favorite version of Peter.
That's tough.
I didn't know we were bringing comics into it. All right, going deeper. Now I know.
He went a little, you know what I mean? Yeah, he dove. That's fine though.
He set us up. He wanted us to go easy and like what everybody would talk about. And then he
go first. Exactly. He couldn't wait. Yeah. Favorite Hulk though. Let's go there. Like favorite Hulk.
Oh, favorite Hulk?
Amadeus Cho.
Oh yeah. Amadeus Cho. I don't really like him as the Hulk too much. I like him being his own thing. He doesn't need to be a Hulk. I really liked Edward Norton's version of the Hulk. That movie's not that great, but I thought he was just really, really good as Bruce Banner. Like I liked him in that role.
Yeah, the movie was shit though. Yeah, for sure. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. It was trash. But like, I think he did his thing for sure. That's got to be my favorite character. Like that's got to be my favorite. Incredible Hulk. Bro. I'm sorry. That's got to be my favorite, all-time favorite. But yeah, I would say I like the. I'm big on intelligence. I'm sorry. So what's the last guy that's doing it? What's his name?
Tom Holland.
Man, bro.
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. The Professor Hulk.
Yes, I love Professor Hulk. I love it. Because, we know it's like big dummy, like Hulk don't smash. Like Thor Ragnarok, he like, bro, is there anything else that you can do other than smash at this point in time? Leave him alone, whatever. And it's just like, I just love the intelligence side. Like when you're helping out with Ant-Man.
Marvel had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to make the most epic Hulk ever with Planet Hulk and King Hulk, and they didn't do it. Instead, they made a funny buddy cop movie with Thor instead, and I'm very upset that we will never see a King Hulk.
I kind of agree. So like Hulk's your favorite character, like all time favorite character.
I'm sorry.
When you're on the field wrecking dudes, you think of yourself as the Hulk.
Ask AJ for a period all through FCF. My profile picture changes into the Incredible Hulk. We beat the Beast, and I had just traded from his team first. He picked us up. Whatever they said, we could never do it again. Me, DeAndre Francois, Adrian Jamil. They said we could never.
You got so mad at me during that conversation.
Bro, I did not like AJ in the beginning.
All I was saying was like I was coming at it from a. All right, I'm gonna set. I'm
gonna break it down real quick. He was being. I still want you to set the scene up, but AJ was being very, very logical, and I was being unrealistic. And of course, you typically want what you want. You want to dominate. You just want to stick a fork through people. But I literally, like, after seeing, and after, for one, he broke it down to me, and I realized, like, for one, I was being personal. It had nothing. It's not about personal at all. And it's just like, think of it from a fan perspective. You don't want the Avengers playing against it. Like, you want to have, like, it's not fun like that. You're just killing it. So, yeah, but go ahead, AJ. I'll let him tell his side.
Okay, so I was working FCF. I was working with Andrew Jamil on a, background video thing where it matched up. It was, like, mic'd up, essentially. And DeAndre came in and Slick came in, and they were all talking about, it was preseason. Nothing was planned. Nothing was ahead of time. And they were all talking about how they're getting the Glacier Boys back together, how with the first-round pick, they're going to get DeAndre. Second-round pick, they're going to get Slick. And I was just, like, doing work. And then I was, like, kind of smirking. And then they're like, what, AJ? What? And I'm like, that's never going to happen. And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, they're not going to let you guys get back together. Like, first pick is going to be DeAndre. There's no way it's not. It's my team. I already know. Like, unless one of us trades for the other, it's not going to happen. I was like, and I've never seen a trade. This may be the first season of an FCF trade, but I've never seen a trade. I was right, but not the way we were talking about. So, yeah, and then I broke it down. Slick, DeAndre was actually the very first one to be like, nah, he's right. This is not going to happen. We got to stop that mentality. And then Slick was like, yeah, you're right.
No, I still pushed against it. Remember, I was
against it.
But I was like, DeAndre, shut up, bro. Like, you're not helping. I'm like, bro, be quiet, bro. We got this. We're pushing forward.
You literally were like, don't say you're good, DeAndre. AJ's an owner.
I was bringing up all type of stuff. I kid you not, Ruckus. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I was like, bro, we could enter the Spider-Verse. All we need is the cube. I was thinking of any possible way. I'm not lying. I'm like, it's gotta be a way. We're finna go holler at Doctor Strange. We're finna manipulate the fan system. I was like, it has to be a way, bro, that we could get to the Glacierverse. I wanted it bad, and it's just, bro.
Now you just gave a bunch of Glacier Boy fans something you should never give them, the Glacierverse.
The Glacierverse.
That's a downfall.
Man.
All right, so we have to pick a winner now.
We got to pick a winner. Who's gonna win MLB The Show 22?
I think we only really have one choice. I think it's Kratos, right?
Yeah, I think it's Kratos. I like this topic. I think it's a pretty good topic.
All right, what was it again? It was extending the World Cup. Correct?
Yeah, so going forward, the World Cup, they're adding like a lot more teams to the World Cup. I don't remember the exact number, but it's going to be a much bigger tournament going forward, starting with the 2026 World Cup in the United States, Mexico, Canada. It's all being shared throughout there. AJ, are you for or against the expansion of the World Cup?
I'm against it. I'm really against it. Why? Because why do we need to extend the World Cup when the World Cup literally is already extended? If you want more World Cup, go watch the qualifying rounds. Guys, it's not that hard. Soccer is not like every other sport. It is pretty much year round. You want more World Cup? Go watch another team. It's not that difficult. All we're doing now is just making a game that's already notoriously hard to qualify for and win even more difficult to win? Guess it's easier to qualify, but more difficult to win.
Well, yeah. So it's going to be moving from 32 teams, which it is now. It's going to be 48 teams going forward. I like the expansion.
Is it all group stage, or is it like the bracket is extended?
I assume that it'll be more into the group stages, and then I still imagine it'll be round of 16.
Right, but is it round of 16 or is it a round of 32?
That's a great question. I would assume that they just add more teams to the group stages, and it's still round of 16. That would be my assumption of it. Going from,
that just makes me angry because that just adds more things to like.
One, having to watch my country not qualify for the World Cup last time around. I'm excited because it means the U.S. will never miss another World Cup. I like that. I'm pretty into that. But I also
but that lowers what it means though when you qualify. Like Italy not qualifying was such a big deal this year, and it means so much more when you do qualify. Like
I want to see Italy in the tournament. They're a good team. Just because they lost to like North Macedonia, they don't get to be in the World Cup now, even though they just won the Europe. Like they're champions of Europe and they're not in the World Cup.
Okay, but think of the North Macedonian team that just won and like, yes, we're the team that kept the great Italy out. I don't know why I gave them this weird accent, but
I don't think that's what they sound like in Macedonia.
That's what they sound like in Macedonia in my head. But that's the thing. So
I like the idea, like especially when you see this run that Morocco just went on. Morocco was the team that people didn't think was going to make it out of the group stage, and they made it to the semifinal. I think this gives us. But no, I think this gives us more opportunities to see these smaller teams make great runs.
I don't know. I disagree. I think what this is going to do is allow the bigger teams that usually are, massive powerhouses, the Germanys, the Spains, the Italys, more opportunities to knock the little guys out. I think if you watch the qualifying rounds, the way the World Cup is determined, I think that is enough. It's gone the changing of these rules halfway through. I think it's wild and random. Like to me, to see this World Cup this year have people do 5 substitutions, I'm like, what? For the first time in my life, I felt like an old man going, that's not right. In my day, there was only 3 substitutions and you could only do 3 players. And maybe if you're lucky, they'll allow you a 4th one, but that's not what happens now. Slick is like, I'm tired of soccer. I'm not.
He doesn't like soccer. He's not here to talk about soccer. He showed up right after all the soccer talk got done, and he leaves as soon as it gets back up. Don't blame him. He plays a different kind of football.
That's all good.
All right, but I think that's going to wrap it up for our show this week, AJ.
Yeah, that's it for us, guys. Kratos, thank you for winning. Go put a ticket into the Discord, and Ruthless Cutie will help you. If she doesn't, you can DM me or Jose, and we will get you situated.
All right. And so I believe this is going to be our last show of this year. We're going to be back in January with Info Arcade. He's taking a little break as well for the holidays. But remember, Don't Cause a Ruckus, live on twitch.tv/fancontrolledsports every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Also, check it out on the youtube.com/fancontrolledsports. You can get the VOD there. You can listen to it on podcast services over on the Fan Controlled Sports feed. Check it out there. Tell people about the show. It's more fun. We get more people in chat. It's a lot more fun. If you've got any ideas for topics you want to hear me and AJ yell about, you just saw right here. You dropped a topic on us, and we just started yelling at each other. If you want to do that more often, you can tweet at me at Jose Ruckus. You can tweet at AJ at King Khah on Twitter. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about, and we'll just yell about it because that's what we like to do.
Yeah.
AJ,
thank you, Sony. Thank you for the sponsor.
Thank you so much, PlayStation. Our
We
friends
appreciate
at
it.
PlayStation.
I love PlayStation. Yeah.
All right. Everybody, have a good holidays. We'll talk to you next year. We'll be back with more Don't Cause a Ruckus. But until next time, and until next year, keep the ruckus to a minimum.